EP45.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Pick Six Podcast. It's your host, Musa. I got my guy, Ty and Peso here with me. How y'all doing today?
What up? Doing good. How about y'all?
Doing good, man. Sorry for the late start. I know we were supposed to start at 3, but we had, life be lifing sometimes. But nonetheless, man, if you're watching, make sure you like to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the episode and your thoughts on the NFC conference and the college football conferences, which is what we're going to be covering in this episode. But first things first, now that we got Pacer finally back on the show, there's some shit we got to address, bro. So,
and as I seen in the chat, y'all was coming at me, man, about my quarterback list.
So as long as you know, so I'm going to share the screen. That's not the only thing, but we're going to start with that. And I think we might hold off on the next. But here is our top 10 quarterback list, as you see on the screen here. And you see Peso's list. He got Josh Allen at 1.
So let me just throw this out here before we get too in deep. I'm a Josh Allen fan. Ain't no disrespect to Pat Mahomes. Yeah, he won all the Super Bowls. Yeah, he got all the accolades. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be a hater. Tom Brady's the best quarterback ever. I'm not giving Patrick Mahomes that stature, so I'm putting Josh Allen.
Now, that's not even the biggest issue with your list. So I'm going to continue. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes at 2, Lamar at 3, Joe Burrow at 4, Jaden Daniels 5, Stafford 6, CJ Stroud 8. But we're going to get cut to the chase. You have Bo Nix at 10.
I don't think that's it.
Nix at 10.
Oh man. I don't think that's a slight.
Top 10 quarterback.
Him at 10 is not the problem.
I don't think that's a slight. Him at 10.
There is a quarterback that is not in your top 10.
Who am I missing?
Oh, there's another one too. That's also a problem. We got a lot of problems.
Justin Herbert?
No.
Freaking
The Super Bowl champ, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, I mean, ain't no disrespect to Jalen Hurts. I don't think. I mean, I guess if I was to swap him out, but I'm not gonna. I'm high on Bo Nix this year.
Jalen Hurts, top 10 quarterback.
I mean, are we just going off of the Super Bowl game last year, the playoff run that he had? I don't know. This year, I don't think going into this season, I could see that being the case, but nah, I ain't going that far.
What does Bo Nix, Jared Goff do better than Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts? Because I'm not high on Herbert as most people are. I see some people starting to come down to the census because of his team success, unfortunately. But I
think from last year going into this year, there's not anything that I would say he does better than Jalen Hurts. But I do think there's going to be an upside. I believe that the Broncos is going to have a way better season. I think Bo Nix is going to have a way better season. So I'm just going with that projectile. There ain't no slight to Jalen Hurts. I was thinking about him, but I also was thinking about everything else that was around him, not taking no credit from him, not giving him credit for what he did last year in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, of course. But going into this season, I'm high on Bo Nix, so I think he's gonna have a better season.
So your list is mostly projected on what's going to come during this upcoming season.
Yeah.
And even with that, Hurts still won't be a top 10. So you think Josh Allen's going to be the number 1 quarterback in the league?
Yep. I got him going to the Super Bowl, coming out of the AFC.
I got to laugh because this is a man who wasn't even the best quarterback and won MVP last season. They thought of him being the second best quarterback. and he's the number one. Okay, you got
I mean, I
Bills
don't.
coming out the AFC, so you finally got them beating the boogeyman. Because
We
until the
we
boogeyman, I'm going with the Chiefs.
we comparing. I mean, oranges and oranges. It ain't like an orange to a fucking spoiled grape. Josh Allen ain't that far
Oh no,
off.
it's a spoiled great when it comes to Pat. I believe.
So Pat Mahomes is clearly better than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow by 150%.
I wouldn't say 150%, but it's pretty clear. Ty, I'm gonna let you get in on this. What else you got on this list? And with Josh Allen being number one.
Nah, my main thing, I didn't care about Josh Allen being number one because I'm like, I know he likes Josh Allen. So I understand. I just wanted to hear the reasoning of how Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. I understand the weapons around him. That's why I had him pretty much 7, because I don't think you're a top 5 quarterback in the league with all those weapons, but I think it would be foolish to not say he's a top 10 quarterback. Because I don't think this day and age you win a Super Bowl without a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Was he a top 10 going into last season?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I think since the first trip to the Super Bowl they had,
he's been uncomfortable.
I think he's been a top 10 quarterback in the league.
That's fair. I just don't think he's top 10.
And
we're gonna leave it at that.
And I understand the premises about the whole him having the team around him and things like that. But at some point, you got to understand your teams that win these Super Bowls have to be good at or elite on one of the side of the ball. Some teams, there's rare occasions where they're elite on both sides, and this was one of those occasions. But at the same time,
was Eli Manning?
I'm just say that again.
Was Eli Manning top 10?
Jalen Hurts, he's in my top 10.
No, I said was Eli Manning top 10?
It depends on what year. What year we're looking at?
Shit.
Because
that was he top 10?
I will want to say, I'm trying to remember to make sure I get my years correct. So
I'm just saying it don't really have to. You don't have to like describe.
I think it was like 20. Was it the 2013 season? Or the year after he won the first Super Bowl?
Nah, that was his last good season.
But that's just my reasoning of looking at the situation the way I am. Like I said, I'm not taking away any credit from Jalen Hurts, but I'm looking at, everything else around him that kind of like coexisted around the winning side. I give him credit, but just like the Giants team, like everything else that was around him, it was, wide receivers making plays, defense making plays,
So what makes him different than Jared Goff? Because Jared Goff, I'm not even gonna. No, I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, Jared Goff made your list, and he has literally the best weapons. So,
and Bo Nix, what separates Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think Jared Goff is more like accurate. I think he's more like he has more composure than Jalen Hurts. If I was to say two things, for sure, yeah.
You said composure?
He had me with the accuracy, but
composure. Did we watch that divisional game?
That's what I'm saying.
I could go further than that. This tape. Remember last season we had a whole discussion about can they even play in the rain outside of a dome. And we had people in the chat was real amped about it when they went outside the dome and handled business, but was real quiet.
We'll see, man. I just pay attention to Bo Nix, man. Pay attention to Bo Nix. We'll see.
Oh, I think Bo Nix is going to do really well. I just don't think he's top 10. I don't think he's top 15 yet, to be honest. But then again, I can actually backtrack because I actually did do a top 20 list. Let me see where did I have Bo Nix at. Yeah, I don't have him in my top 15. I had him at 17. I had Tua, which is a big question mark because of health. But Trevor Lawrence, I had Goff, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott. I had some of those other quarterbacks above Bo Nix. But moving on.
Why Dak ain't make nobody's list?
Why he didn't make top 10? Oh, because like I said it last episode too. A lot of Dak stats sometimes is empty calorie. Like they'll be down big, and I would hate to go against Dak in fantasy because anytime they down big, he's gonna go in there and put up a bunch of extra yards, get touchdown passes, do all the necessary things to kind of make the stats look appealing. But when you look at that, the actual talent on the field, I just think the 10 quarterbacks I have on my list is more talented than him at this moment. Question marks, though, the biggest question mark on my list as far as talent will probably be Baker. If you want, I can debate that, but I think Herbert's a more talented quarterback. Jaden Daniels goes unexplained. CJ had a down year, but that's due to a lot of his weapons being injured and the offensive line being atrocious, and them giving up their best offensive lineman in the offseason makes it worse. Hurts goes unexplained, and then the top five, I don't really need to say much about those guys over Dak. Stafford, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Mahomes. Like the Fantastic Four don't need to be discussed. And then you have Stafford, who's just always in Mr. Consistent. But I had Dak actually at 11, I think, or 12. I had Dak at 11. So he's right outside the top 10.
I don't know, Justin Herbert. I'm just not too much of a fan of him. That's just me personally, though.
Yeah, but I think he'll have a better season this year, given that they finally got some weapons around. The offensive line looks a little bit better. Omari Hampton's going to be nice, but we're gonna carry on with the main topic of the show. We just had to get that out because me and Ty been itching to talk to you about that. That college receivers list too was questionable too, but nonetheless,
I think when I threw that list out there, I think I just threw that out there. That was a quick run. Hey, y'all don't be trying to get on my case when I'm not here, man. Don't be doing that.
Hey, we've been waiting for you in clips, man. We've been waiting, but we're gonna move right along. We're gonna start off with the NFC West. We're gonna start with the NFC West and give our predictions on who's coming out the NFC West to win that division. So let me share my screen. And if you watching, leave a comment down below. Is Bo Nix a top 10 quarterback? Is Josh Allen the best quarterback in the league?
You're damn right.
Let us know down in the comment section.
And is Jalen Hurts not a top 10 quarterback?
Y'all got me with that one. Y'all got me with that one. I guess I have to swap out. I don't know. I think Bo Nix is going to have a very, very good year. I think I had them and last episode I was on, I had them within 12 games, I think, the Broncos.
I believe so. I'll double check. But hey, man, stand on it. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. I ain't gonna stand on that hill with you, but I'll make sure I tell everyone how good of a man you was when you fall off that hill.
Hey, as long as I pick myself right back up, that's all that matters.
Yes, sir. But real quick, before we get into the NFC West, so I know you had the NFC South list ready. So if you want, I can fill yours in, and then we can.
Hold the fuck up. Ty had the Panthers at 11-6. Whoa, what was my antennas at last week? What the hell?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I told her it was a shot in the dark. I'm going. I'm hopping on the train.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little sad about me having the Panthers at 5-12. I think they might win 7 games, but 7 or 8 games. But I said that's the lowest I see the Panthers going is 5-12.
What's the dealio with the Panthers at 11-6?
It was. I mean, I'm thinking of when Musa last year said the Commanders are winning that division.
Mando,
so
what
I'm
up?
I'm looking at all these divisions. I'm like, yo, which one can I really kind of surprise people with? And I was like, it got to be the NFC South.
Yeah, somebody's gonna.
I don't know. I feel like T-Mac with Bryce Young is perfect, but I got to see more. But I hope they surprise people.
Yeah, and what we talked about too last week, Peso, was Derek Brown's healthy now too. Like the Panthers got some pieces on that defense. Derek Brown at tackle. You got J.C. Horn. I love the rookie. I forgot his name, but he was playing well in the preseason. Has played well in the preseason.
I did see the opener with
Cleveland,
the Panthers, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Bryce Young looked like he got a little extra pep in his step. So we'll see. We'll see.
With an extra year under his belt with the head coach with Dan, I think he can kind of get into with that playbook more and adding T Mac, Leggett. You still got old, reliable Thielen in the slot. I think they can make some decent noise.
The only thing that I would like to see him, we'll just see. But the only thing I criticize him about is just how tall. He's not that tall. The offensive lineman, tall defensive lineman, and stuff like that. I just feel like he need to just continue to work on his game, but just get the ball out of his hands as quick as possible. Make quick reads, quick decisions. But he looked good, even though it's a preseason game. He looked pretty good.
Yes, sir. But Peso, what was your NFC South predictions? I'm gonna type it in for you.
So I had the Falcons first. I failed last year.
You were wrong about that last year. You're gonna be wrong about it this year.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is up out of there. Michael Penix finally got the start. I think the do-rag's gonna flourish well with him. I got him at 11-6.
Do-rag Penix, do-rag Mike. All right, 11-6.
After that, I got the Panthers at 9-8. Kind of for the same reasons that Todd was saying. I think they're gonna have a way better year. I like their defense. I'm a big fan of T Mac over there too from Arizona. Jimmy Horn's over there. I think he's gonna get a lot of burn. I think that stadium is gonna be in a whole nother level this year, and that's just gonna help them out even more. The Bucks, I got third at 8-9. It's gonna be a close fight between them and the Panthers. And then the Saints, I got them at 4-13.
Okay, so real quick, although Ty does have them at 11-6 as well.
Yeah, I'm bugging for having them at 11-6, but you got them being better than the Bucks.
I was about to
8-9.
I was gonna say I have the Bucks winning this division still, like they did last year. It's their division to lose. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys have been watching the Bucks offense, but you have Mike Evans, Godwin, Emeka. It looks great in that offense. Good luck trying to guard all three of those guys, especially because with Emeka, you can put him you can put him in the slot, you can work him outside the numbers, put him in. There's so much things you can do with him. And then Bucky Irvin looks like a dog this season. I think Bucky Irvin might etch in and slip in and get maybe top 5 talk at his position. And I mean at 5 at the highest. So I love what their offense looks.
Their schedule too, by the way, is not that, of course you talk about all the division games, but outside of division games, they have like the Texans, they have the Eagles, they play the Lions, they play the Patriots, they play the Bills, and they play the Rams. Their schedule's pretty tough, so that's why I had them 8-9.
Fair enough. All right. Moving on, we're gonna go to the NFC West, man. We're gonna get right into it. So, Ty, I'm gonna let you start it off. Who you have for the NFC West? This is your division, so it's only right. I'll start with you.
Yeah, you already know who's in first. Rams 14-3.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Laughing about that shit.
Yo, go check their schedule and come back to me, and you talk about 14-3. It's possible.
Coming out.
Okay.
Next, pretty much, I feel like every other team in this division is all fighting for second, pretty much. So I think this standing can go either way. But right now, I have 49ers in second at 10-7.
McCaffrey healthy, man. He takes a year off and bounces back.
I still don't think they're that good though. In my personal opinion.
You said 9-7 or 9-8?
10-7.
Oh, my bad.
Then third, I have the Cardinals at 9-8. Then last, I have Seattle at 8-9. But like I said, all three of these teams, I feel like, dependent if there's winning streaks, injuries, all that can change. But I think I would be very surprised if the Rams don't win this division next year.
Yes, sir. I feel like the NFC is kind of like how the Eastern Conference was in the NBA this season. Like, it's top heavy, but all them other teams is kind of like they're in the mix where things can go left real quick, go right for the right team. So I'm not mad at that at all. Peso, who you got?
Oh yeah, NFC West. I got the Rams at 12-5. Next, I had the Cardinals at 8 and 9. I had the 49ers. And just like we just said, like McCaffrey's coming back, yeah, but I don't think that team is that good. So I got them at 7 and 10. And then I had the Seahawks at 5 and 12.
You don't believe in Sam Darnold?
It's not that I don't believe in him, but it's first time with that team, and yeah, they got to figure out a lot of things and stuff. I don't even think he's gonna be there long term. They got a lot of new pieces in, so it's gonna be kind of like a figure it out year for them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I'm gonna start off my list. I also have the Seahawks at the bottom, but I have them as well going 8 and 9. And for similar reasons, I love the pieces they have on defense. The corners, the dual corners with Woodland and the crew. They're special. You got Leonard Williams in the front four. I love what they have there. I like the offense. You got my guy Walker in the backfield. Sam Darnold should be decent. I think Jack Smith-Njigba is going to have a breakout season. My only question is the quarterback position, which I believe Sam Darnold's going to surprise people this year. I think he's going to show that he didn't have a fluke season last year. I don't think it's going to be as close as it was to what he did in production in Minnesota, but I think it'll still be a serviceable year to potentially get them 8 and 9, maybe 9 and 8. But what intrigues me is if he does do bad, what most people believe he will, I can potentially see a Jalen Milroe showing in Seattle this season. And I think if it happens, Jalen might surprise a few folks because I think his play style fits more towards the NFL offenses compared to what he was. I think Alabama, he just wasn't in the right offensive scheme. He's not a pro style type of quarterback. He's an read option kind of guy. And I think his style will fit a lot more mesh well with Seattle. So that's something to look out for. Next team I have at 3 is the Niners. I have the 49ers going 9 and 8. And the reason being is, yes, I love George Kittle. I have to see what McCaffrey's going to do coming back from the injury. He looks good. Ayuk should be coming back healthy. The offense is I'm not too worried about as far as the key pieces. The offensive line is terrible. Outside of Trent Williams, that O-line is terrible. And Trent is like 36, 35 years old. So he's up there in age. So that's another thing I'm worried about. And that defense is not going to be as good as it used to be. Like, I love Fred Warner. I think Nick Bosa is going to be good. Lenore is really good at corner, but they lost some big pieces. Greenlaw's not there. I'm forgetting his name, but the safety they had last season, he ended up going to Denver. Although there is another safety on that team, his name is unique as well. That is really, really good. He's a thumper, so I think he's going to show out this year. But I just don't think they have the complete package like they normally would to compete, and I think they're going to take a step back, which is not a bad thing because that means they can regroup in the next offseason. And that too, the team who I think is going to make the playoffs, and they kind of have no choice, is the Cardinals. I have the Cardinals going 10 and 7. And the reason being is I think this is the last straw for Kyler. I believe if Kyler doesn't get the job done now, they're going to be trying to be looking elsewhere for quarterback in this upcoming draft, especially if this upcoming draft quarterback class is what people think it may be. You have Marvin Harrison. He put on 15 pounds of muscle. You got a sleeper pick, one of the best corners in the draft. If he would have been the number one corner if he didn't get hurt out of Michigan in Johnson. So you got him. You got pieces there. I think this is probably the best team Kyler has had around him as a talent standpoint since he's been there, since they went on that early run a few years back where they went like 6 or 7 and 0, something like that. So high expectations coming for Kyler, but I think he has the talent to get it done, and I think they can go 10 and 7. And last but not least, I have the Rams also 12 and 5. I think Jared Verse is going to be in DPOY conversations this season. I believe Puka Nacua is going to finally show you guys why he deserves to be in these top 10, top 6 conversations at wide receiver. I see a lot of people. Say that again.
If he can stay healthy.
Yes, I think so. I think Tay Adams is going to remind people why he's still one of them ones in the league. because people just seem to forget. But now he got a quarterback that actually could get him the ball consistently. And by the way, he still had 1,000 yards, I think, last season, despite the whole debacle with Aaron Rodgers in the Jets last season. So adding him with Stafford and having Puka on the opposite side, I just think it's going to be, they're going to put up points for sure. The O-line solid. Kyron Williams just got an extension. And I like Blake Corum in the backfield. He lost some weight going into this upcoming season, so he's going to be more into the passing game, which you already know. Sean McVay and Ty can attest to this. When it comes to running backs, you got to pass block. If you can't pass block, you're not getting in that game. Stafford ain't this ain't Detroit Stafford. He ain't,
yeah. We need that
he's not
protection.
moving. You got to be able to pass block. So I think they're going to be able to get the job done. I think they're going to be one of the top teams in the NFC. And I actually think they come out of the NFC this season. And I think they beat either the Eagles or another team I'm going to hold off on announcing in just a moment. So this is our NFC West list. Now we're going to move right along to the NFC North. And I'm going to let you take it away, Peso.
NFC North, who I got winning that division is the Lions at 13-4.
Okay.
Next up, I got the Packers going 11-6. And I got the Vikings third at 10-7. And then we'll go Bears, of course, last at 6-11.
Damn, so you just hate Caleb Williams or something?
Nah, I'm a huge fan of Caleb Williams. USC, man,
Yeah,
one of my
but
favorite teams in college ball.
what's not making sense to me is they take Ben Johnson from the Lions, but you have the Lions still being good, and you have the Bears getting
Roster
worse.
construction. Roster construction.
I
I
don't
mean,
know,
Ben
man.
Ben Johnson's gone, but the Lions still have an amazing roster.
Yeah, but
You know,
when you take the mastermind behind the offense, it is gonna affect you in some way.
To Peso's point, too, I'm also interested to see how Ben Johnson is now going to be the head of the table now, so to speak.
that's
Because now he's not going to be the one doing all the play. He's the head coach. I want to see how that turns out. But I do agree with both sides as far as the Ben Johnson being taken away from the Lions and them probably taking a step back and etc.
Yeah, no, we just we just got to see it through. I think that was an amazing addition that they got for a head coach. But we got to see it through. We got to see it through in the regular season. We got to see it through. Like Caleb's a coachable player, and I love that about him. But everything else involved, defense now and stuff like that. Yeah, he's the one that's actually calling the full shots, full throttle. He's the head of the table. So we just got to see it through. If they do better, hey, I ain't
Gotta
mad
put
at
the
it.
ones up. You said the head of the table, man. Shout out my dog Roman. Ty, who you got for the NFC North?
I got the Lions still winning the division, but at 11-6, I do believe this can easily just be a 10-7 record. I do think the offense is going to take a little bit of a step back. Even though they have the weapons, I understand. But I'm telling you, last year that offense was spectacular, and you cannot tell me it was not because of Ben Johnson. So I just know it's gonna affect them. I don't think it's gonna affect them to the point where like they're not a playoff team and they're not winning this division. But they can win the division, but it's gonna be very close. It's not gonna be how they basically ran through it last year. But next, I have the Packers because I think the Packers are going to be better than they were last time, realistically. As long
You
as they
guys know
stay
how I
healthy,
was.
as long as they stay healthy, and literally, I think Matthew Golden is going to surprise people. And I think he's going to be the real number one, even though they still have Reed. But they're going to be good. I got them at 10-7. Third, I have the Bears because there is no way the Bears is not walking away this season with the winning record. I'm telling you. I must love Ben Johnson, but it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. They have to be good. If they're not good this year, they just gotta blow up the whole team and just like we're gonna get rid of the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are never gonna be an NFL team again.
I don't know. That's tough, man. But okay, what you got them winning for record wise?
9-8. Then
that's pushing.
Then this is where it gets fun, because if JJ McCarthy is what everyone keeps talking about, then this is a 8-9 win team. All right.
You got them winning 8 games?
I got them winning 8 games.
Okay, just want to make sure.
But don't be surprised if they're like a 4-win team and it doesn't pan out. Because remember, last episode I told you, I just don't think he's ready. And I think just it hurts that he got injured last year, so he really wasn't sitting behind and really learning. He was rehabbing. So I do think it affects them, but you got Justin Jefferson. So I hope you can at least get at 8 wins, but
yes, sir. Now, you know how high I was on my Packers last year because everyone got to put a little bit of love in your heart. You know I'm big on Jordan Love, but nonetheless, I don't know if I can agree with the Vikings being 8 wins. So my lowest team is actually going to be the Bears. And I think they're going to be in the situation where they're going to go 7-10, I believe. But I can also see them winning 9 games, to your point, Ty. But I can see the 7-10 record being kind of minuscule because I feel like it's going to be a lot of one-possession games. I believe they're going to be kind of what the Commanders were last year in the sense of a lot of one-possession games, but they're falling short. Now, if they fall on the other side of that, then the record will be different. Real quick, Fernando says the Bears are totally going to be much improved. I agree. They're going to improve on the offense. Luther Burden, the draftee, is going to be a big hit. The defense should improve. I just think this division is so stacked. Like, I feel like the NFC is so difficult to predict in these divisions as when you start really looking at the teams and stuff. So I got the Bears going 7-10. My third team is unfortunately going to be the Packers at 9-8. And the reason being is I love the offense, but can Bolden become that wide receiver 1? That's the only thing they're really missing on that offense is who's going to be the alpha in the receiver room. Yeah, they can do it by committee. Jordan Love has been able to show that he can do that, get the ball to everybody. He also has to show that he can limit his turnovers. That's his biggest problem. And the defense, I feel like defense is going to be solid, but losing Jair is still going to hurt them, I think, in some capacity. I don't think it's going to hurt them throughout the whole season, but that's why I have them at 9-8. And that hurts my heart because I love Jordan Love. I love Josh Jacobs and that crew. At 2, I have the Lions at 10-7. To your point, Ty, I think losing Ben Johnson is going to hurt them. They also, people forgetting, and Fernando disagrees. He thinks the Green Bay Packers are too low, which is fine. But Ty, you mentioned Ben Johnson is elsewhere in Chicago. People are also forgetting that Aaron Glenn is in New York. And the job Aaron Glenn was able to do with that defense with all those injuries, I know Hutchinson's coming back now. They didn't re-sign Zadarius Smith after they traded for him, which I think he can be a huge addition, but he's still a free agent. I believe they're going to take a step back a little bit. They're going to have to work the kinks out. They might have to do a few tweaks on offense and defense to find their mesh. So I think they go 10-7. And Fernando thinks the Vikings are too high, but I don't think they are. I have the Vikings winning this division. And that is because of the collective talent on both sides of the ball around JJ McCarthy. Now, he is the X factor. If JJ McCarthy can just be a game manager and limit turnovers and doesn't do too much, I think everyone else can get them at least 11 wins. Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison, Hawkinson at tight end. Also, you got Jettas. And you got Brian Flores in that defense, and the way they was balling out last season, this season healthy and added more pieces. I think the Vikings can easily win this division by a game or two. So I have a 1 game difference between 3-1. Everything's a 1 game split. So this can go either way. But I'm gonna go on a limb. I was almost right about the Commanders last season winning the division. I got the Vikings winning this one. So Fernando, you heard it here first. And then any questions on my list?
You're bugging.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say, hey, you can try to say your own opinion, but
now I'm not that high on JJ McCarthy because you guys remember I said to Clips when we had the episode, what happens if you add JJ McCarthy next season and he doesn't do what Sam Darnold does? Then you kind of in a abysmal at the quarterback room. So I'm not as high on him, but the weapons around him on both sides of the ball, I think can get it done. And looking at their schedule, I think they can win this division for sure. But I'm bugging, so let me know why I'm bugging, Ty Peso. Why am I crazy to have this take?
I mean, it's
he's like, where do I
winning
start?
the division? Like, if you said they're a playoff team, they're having 10 wins, yeah, that's cool. But like winning this division, that's crazy.
But you haven't told me nothing crazy about it besides saying it's crazy. Like what?
Because I'm telling, it's JJ McCarthy. Like what have we seen? Nothing. And so you're gonna go say they're winning the division. At least my take with Bryce Young was we saw him actually technically come back from being benched and progress, and we see what he needs to do and what he needs around him. And their division is weaker, so yeah, he could win the division. But the Vikings winning this tough NFC North, I don't know. That's
okay.
Whew.
I will say yes, the NFC South is a little weaker, but it's more top heavy.
A little is way weaker.
Nah, because I think they have a clear-cut team in that division in Tampa. I think Tampa is the clear best team in that division.
Atlanta's this division can have 4 playoff teams. I mean, it can have everyone make the playoffs.
I can see that. And that's why between the Packers, Lions, and Vikings, everything's a 1 game separation because of how close I think this division is. And I even think the Bears could be better than 7-10. I just think that's going to be their floor. But yes, my point stands on the Vikings. Has nothing to do with JJ McCarthy because you guys already know I'm not the highest person on him. I'm just like I can't deny the amount of pieces they have all over that team on both sides of the ball. The offensive line is really good. Well, it's decent because they didn't look good in the playoffs against the Rams. But O-line should be better. Aaron Jones is really good, still really good. We know what Jettas is going to do. You know what Addison's going to produce. Hawkinson, no one talks about him. He's one of the underrated tight ends. And then that defense is elite. Like Van Kinkel at the linebacker position. I just think they can do it. I think this is their ceiling is 11 to 12 wins at max. But they can win 11 to 12 games, right? And still be second in this division. Because I think the Lions can still come out and win. But I'm going to stand on my nuts. And I got the Vikings winning this division. Peso, talk to me. Why am I crazy about this?
I mean, you're not crazy, bro. You're entitled to your own opinion. I just think that this division is just tough. I mean, the Lions and the Packers. I mean, the Bears too. Even though I gave them the record of 6-11, but again, just like to Ty's point, Ben Johnson could go there and turn things around, and they can squeeze in maybe 2 or 3 more games than 6-11 and be a competitive 8-9 or something like that. But yeah, I don't think the Vikings are going to be number 1 just because of the Lions and the
Packers. Fair enough. All right, we're gonna move right along, man. The NFC East, and I'll get started since I've been letting you guys do most of the talking with the divisions. So at the bottom of the NFC East, I have the Giants at a competitive 6-11. I think they're gonna lose a few of those games in one possessions. I think Russell's gonna be able to manage the game, but I just don't. Looking at their schedule, I think it's just so many games I think they might lose, and I think the defense is gonna be very promising, but I think they're 1 year away, and I think Jackson Dart's gonna be really really good moving forward for them because he looks really good in the preseason. I have to be honest about that. So I have the Giants at 6-11. 3, the Cowboys 7-10. Too much going on in the front office and with the players. I think Dak's going to be really good, like he always has been when he's healthy. The defense is questionable. That's my biggest reason why I think they go 7-10. I love Micah and Diggs and Bland, but outside of that, it's slim pickings. Although their offense is going to be very, very fun to watch with Pickens and Lamb, I just don't see them winning more than 7-9 wins, if that. So I have them at 7-10. Next, I have the Commanders. I think they take a step back. Not too big of a step back, but they go 9-8. I think they still squeeze into the playoffs. I think last season they won 11 games. So I think that sophomore slump probably would hit in a few games where they go from 11-6, I'm sorry, to 9-8 maybe. So I had them at second place. And then I have the Eagles, and they're gonna be 12-5, I believe. And that goes without saying. But I do see a lot of people having them 14, 13 wins. I think they lose a few games. I don't think they're gonna be the most invincible team in the world. I know that's hard to say, but I believe they go 12-5 and they lose to the Rams in the conference championship game. Ty, who you got?
All right. Last, I have the Giants, 7-10, because I think I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart split the season. So I feel like they give Russ the first 8 games, because if you look at their schedule, they're winnable games, some of them. So as long as he's competitive, I think they give him like an 8-week trial. But if it's not what they're expecting, I think they'll put in Jackson Dart. But they're still probably picking top 10 in the draft next year anyways. But it might be good for them because, like you said, the future after this season looks very bright for them. But I just don't think they get it done this season. Third, I have the Cowboys, 8-9. Pretty much exactly what you said. Too much going on. And who knows if Micah gets traded or not. Offense, as long as they do good and Dak is actually good, the offense is going to be amazing, spectacular. Because I just think the combination of George Pickens and CD Lamb is ridiculous. But
nutty.
I know it's Dak Prescott, so the offense might not hit their potential. Second, I have the Commanders, surprisingly at 12-5. Because I think they worked this out with Terry McLaurin, and I think they just repeat what they did last year. I don't think they take no step back, no nothing. I think the defense got better, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. And I still think they're going to be competitive with the Eagles. So I have the Eagles at 13-4. So only a game difference. So it could come down to the wire. The Eagles are always going to be good, but Super Bowl hangovers happen. I don't think it'll be a drastic hangover, but they might lose a couple games on their schedule that you don't expect them to lose, but they lose somehow.
Okay. Peso?
Yeah, y'all had all good talking points for each of these teams, so I ain't even gonna waste no time. I had the Giants last, at 7-10, same thing as Ty. Cowboys, same as y'all, 8-9. Um, I had the Commanders at 11-6. Um, like I said, y'all hit Ty pretty much put it out there. Same thing for me. I don't think they really take a step back from what they did last year. I think it's only a game difference because they was 12-5 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the Eagles also at 12-5, winning that division.
All right, there you have it. This is our NFC predictions for the division. So I'm going to go back to the top and just go through the NFC South. Peso has the Falcons, tied with the Panthers. I have the Buccaneers. Then for the NFC West, the top teams we have is all the Rams. The NFC North, we have Lions for Peso and Ty, and then I have the Vikings. And then we have the Eagles winning in the NFC East. So this is our list. I know, Peso, you mentioned the Broncos real quick. So I'm just going to show the NFC, the AFC. Actually, you did not. I don't think you gave me a record for the Broncos or the Chargers, but you had them in second place nonetheless.
Yeah, looking at the Broncos, I think I was looking at it earlier. I'll probably give them 10-7. Charger schedule, I gotta look at them again, so I'll come back to you on that.
Oh yeah, no worries. But this is the list. Now we're gonna move on to the college football side of things for the rest of the show. We have the remaining conferences. We got to predict the two teams that's going to win, that's going to come out of these conferences for the conference championship games. But before we get to that, I know, Peso, you said you just kind of ran through this list, but I still want to show it because it was an interesting list. And that was the top 5 wide receivers in college football.
Here we go.
So I'm still going to show it for those who missed it for that episode. Here's the Alabama receivers we have. Peso show love to some tight ends on his list. So he has Julio at 1, Ozzie Newsome at 2, Devonta Smith at 3, Amari Cooper 4, DJ Hall at 5. Now, obviously, you said you kind of did this last minute, so we understand. Me and Ty's biggest gripe was the Heisman winner not being at 1, but that was neither here nor there. Ty, did you have any questions for Peso on his list?
I did miss fucking damn. Okay, yeah.
Nah, for the Bama one, it was just Smitty not being number 1.
Yeah,
Calvin Ridley didn't
there was
make
another list.
No, Calvin Ridley's kind of crazy.
You know.
LSU, I think it was LSU. No, LSU wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't LSU. It was Ohio State. Yeah. Yep,
oh, yeah.
That was it. Yep.
Go ahead, Ty. What was your question?
No, I'm just waiting for him to realize.
Oh no. To be honest with you, like I said, this was last minute. I had to do some research and stuff, and I just was looking up the top wide receivers for the school. Jeremiah Smith, I know he's obviously still in school and stuff this year, but I think he's a fucking animal. So that's why I have him up there. San Antonio,
that was the biggest one.
San Antonio Holmes, yeah, that was based off of research, to be honest with you.
I'm not mad at San Antonio, though.
This is probably one of the last schools I did because I didn't really know too much about who went there. Marvin Harrison Jr., he just came from there, so I knew about him. So.
Okay. And then, of course, you had your Georgia boys.
Oh, yeah.
He made sure he had top tier research for this.
Oh, yeah. I pretty much knew
making that list was interesting.
I pretty much knew the top 3 off rip. Yeah. AJ Green, he was that dude. Hines Ward, yeah. He was big time.
Yes, sir, I did. But this was the list, man. We got the biggest gripe out the way. So now we're gonna change our pace and go right into our conferences for college football. We got college football coming right around the corner, fellas. Y'all excited? Y'all ready? First game, Ohio State and
Sir.
Texas.
What's the teams y'all gonna be looking into this year to be watching the most?
Honestly, I don't have one set team. I'm gonna try to just watch as much football as I can for college.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough though because it's a lot of games and they all come on around the same time. But I'm trying to at least catch them. I want to say my biggest goal is to catch some teams that's not in the main household conferences. So like the AAC, I might watch a few of the Sun Belt, Conference USA, kind of get familiar with some of those guys, and try to get them some recognition on the show. Because obviously we're gonna be watching the Big 12, Big 10, Colorado, maybe the Mountain West, might not as much with Genty being gone, but even still, that's kind of my biggest goal for the college football season. Ty, anyone you looking forward to watching?
Nah, I agreed with everything you said. I'm trying to watch as much as I can, especially with, like you said, these non-household name teams. Honestly,
Yeah, I agree. We're about to go over the Conference USA, and I had to look back at the teams, and I'm like, yeah,
yeah, I'm like, yo.
Sam Houston did win last year, but I'm like, I don't remember watching any of them teams play.
I think I probably caught a Liberty game. That's about it.
The furthest I get down to those lower tier conferences is probably the AAC because I watch a little bit of Memphis. I like Army and Navy. Yeah. So other than that, I don't really give a crap. But yeah, I got to tune in. I got to show them some love too.
Yes, sir. So speaking of the American Conference, that's what we're going to start off with first. So American Conference. Peso, I'm gonna start with you. Who you got as the top two teams? So who will be playing in the conference championship game, and the top team will obviously be the team you have winning.
So my top two teams is gonna be Memphis and Army, and I'm gonna have Memphis over Army. I think Army's gonna make an appearance back now, but I got Memphis going this year.
Okay. Ty, who you got?
I got Tulane over Navy.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick. I'm actually going to pick Tulane as well. That was my pick. I think they're going to win the American Conference this season. They have a top 3 recruiting class coming in this year, and they finished, I think, in the runner-up for the championship game this year. I think they lost to Army. So I think they're going to come right back and handle business and this time get the job done. And the team I'm going to take, actually, to surprise people, I know you have South Florida as another team that had a really good recruiting class in Memphis. I'm going to go with East Carolina. I think East Carolina is going to be a team that's going to shock some people. They have one of the top recruiting classes in this conference. I think they're going to come out and have a great season, and I think they lose to Tulane. They did finish 8-5 last season. I think they probably go 10 wins. And yeah, that's what I got for the American Conference. Now, we're going to transition to the Big Ten. I'm going to start with you, Ty. Who you got for the Big Ten?
I got Ohio State over Penn State.
Okay.
And the reason why is because when you have the greatest Ohio State wide receiver still in school, of course you're gonna win your conference.
So is it bad that I have them up there?
Nah, I just think they're gonna be phenomenal. Penn State is really their only competition, I think. So that championship game can go either way, but I'm probably gonna be backing up Ohio State this season, just because of him, in my opinion.
Okay. Peso?
Same exact thing for me for the same exact talking points that Ty said. Reason why, as we just seen, I had Jeremiah Smith up there. Ohio State over Penn State. And I like We'll be watching USC. Jaden Mava,
Yep.
the quarterback is over there. I think he's going to be really good. I think USC is going to be really decent this year. We'll be watching for them, but I think Ohio State and Penn State's the clear two best teams in that conference.
Okay. Now, I think Oregon's gonna take a little step back this season. They have the second best recruiting class in this conference. Ohio State also has the number one class, but Michigan at 3. USC's at 4 and Penn State's at 5. And which is why I'm going with Penn State to win this division. I mean this conference. They got the two best running backs in the country. They have the number one running back duo in the country, I should say. Drew Allen's coming back. They got some pieces on defense. That the backup tight end from last year is now a starter. And he's really, really good. And James Franklin, I think this is going to be the year they finally get the job done. I think they're going to go to the national championship game this year. So I got Penn State winning the Big Ten Conference, and I got them actually beating. That's right. I'm going out on a limb here. This is a huge reach.
Wow. Yeah.
But I'm going with Michigan.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I'm picking Michigan is because my dog Bryce. That's it. This is why I said this is a reach. I'm not even like USC can be over them. Sure, I'm not even mad at those. I want to see my dog Bryce, the Michigan native at quarterback, freshman year, take his team to the conference championship game. So that's my reach for the day. Michigan coming out the Big Ten. Oh, they're gonna lose to Penn State. I think they're gonna surprise some people. So now we're moving right along. Conference USA. We're gonna start off with you, Peso. Who you got for Conference USA?
I think Sam Houston will be back. And if I had to pick a team, I was just looking at the standings from last year. I looked at Liberty's schedule a bit. I'm not too sure about their recruiting class, but I got them going and beating Sam Houston. Sorry, I should have said that earlier so you could swap it. But
So you got Sam Houston and Liberty?
Sorry, Liberty over Sam Houston.
Gotcha. Cool. Ty, what about you?
I also have Liberty, but I have them over Western Kentucky. So if you catch me watching these Western Kentucky games, don't say anything. All right.
Now the Hilltoppers are a very sleeper in that conference. It's not a bad pick. I'm going. This was tough for me, but I got Jacksonville State. I think they repeat. I think they come out and win the Conference USA again, and I believe they're gonna beat. I was torn between Liberty, Western Kentucky, but I think they're gonna beat Sam Houston. I think they're gonna beat them again. So I'm gonna go with Sam Houston. And last but not least, before we wrap up the show, you guys' favorite conference, of course, the main attraction.
You know how I'm going with. Let's just put it out there, man. Put it, just stamp it. Put it down.
We're gonna start with you then, of course.
Put it down. Put it down. But one of the teams I'm gonna be looking forward to this year, a lot. I ain't gonna say they're sleeping, but I think they're gonna make a huge run. It's Florida.
DJ Langway, okay.
I think he's gonna make the difference. But, yep. They played once, I believe, this season too, in their little viral game that they have. So we'll see how the standings are looking and stuff like that if they end up meeting up in the SEC championship. But yeah, Georgia and Florida.
Ty?
I'm going with that boy down in Texas.
Thank you.
Me.
Oh,
Thank
hell.
you.
And I actually got them beating
Hell.
those boys in Alabama.
Thank you. Ty Simpson, breakout year.
Yes, sir. Telling you. Unfortunately, I know Peso. How can it be a SEC championship game without the Georgia Bulldogs? But
Yeah, it
you'll
just don't
see.
make no sense.
You'll
It
see.
don't make no sense.
You about to see why it makes perfect sense. Because I
It's
agree with Ty. I have the same exact list. I have Texas versus. I didn't want Texas State now. Hold on. That's the wrong conference. Against Alabama. I think Georgia's going to be the third best team, maybe fourth in the conference, depending on records with Florida. But obviously, I still think Georgia makes it to the conference, the college football playoff, nonetheless. But I think Archie's going to get the job done. And I think Bama's going to shock some people this season. And now that Jalen Milroe has moved on, they get a quarterback in Ty Simpson that kind of caters to that offense better. Ryan Williams is going to have a breakout season, even better than what he did his freshman year. So that's my two teams in the SEC.
So let me ask you this: Texas and Georgia play, I think, November.
Where at?
In Georgia. That's going to be a make and break game right there. I'll tell you that now. Other than that, look at Georgia's schedule.
I think Texas wins that game.
Yes, sir.
Come on down to the doghouse, man.
I just don't trust y'all. Who's y'all quarterback? I don't trust the quarterback.
I forgot his name. Man who backed up Carson Beck last year. Keep forgetting his name. Stratum, some shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even put all my eggs in the basket with him. I just think, when you got Kirby Smart over there.
Boy, he better be smart this season. I don't know if that's gonna get a job done.
Hey, Archie Manning, we're gonna see. First time, full time out there. Gonna see. Come on down to the doghouse.
He ain't Quinn Ewers. That boy got some mobility. That boy gonna be moving. He's gonna be moving. But that's gonna wrap up for today's show. So if you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Who you guys got winning the SEC, Conference USA, all the conferences in college football? Who's some of your sleeper teams that we should look out for to watch this season? Players as well. And in the NFL, who you guys got winning the NFC, West, North, South, etc. Sleeper teams. Stay tuned for next episode. Next episode is going to be our predictions. Who we think is going to win awards, plays we think we might be slept on. And it's going to be our second year for the NFL fantasy draft. We'll be live tomorrow. Not tomorrow, live next weekend. So stay tuned for that as well. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Radio 8.